you again. Just couldn't stay away, could you? Listen, I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to do some more modern movies or talk about some bigger budget films, and so I've taken it upon myself to, of course, do the exact opposite, and that's why today we're going to talk about a movie called Critters. Critters is a 1986 film directed by Stephen Herek, probably most famous for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Excuse me, when did the Mongols rule China?
I don't know, I just work here.
But this film takes place within a small town in Kansas being invaded by space critters. So yeah, then the movie just opens with a shot of a floating prison asteroid that kind of just looks like a big piece of shit. And then we hear two voices talking about how they're going to transport and house the Krite prisoners.
Krite prisoners, 8 of them, over.
And then we meet this nameless wad of Space Nut just kind of scooting around the ship. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I used to rent this movie a lot as a kid from Albertsons, and I genuinely don't remember this part.
Explosion and termination lock.
Damage report.
So the Krites managed to break out of containment and steal an escape ship.
The Krites have stolen a ship.
Get the bounty hunters.
Yeah, and then we meet our two bounty hunters who also just kind of don't have names. Their heads just sort of look like chewed up bubble gum, and they use that to shapeshift into human form whenever they need to. So for the sake of this recap, we're just going to call them the Bubblegum Brothers. Even though their hands already look human and not like bubblegum, I guess they could only afford the masks. They couldn't afford the gloves for this movie, so... Anyways, the Bubblegum Brothers have been ordered by the Space Nut to hunt down the Krites before they start feeding on innocent victims all across the universe. Brother, you got to get this man off the screen. Yeah, and then halfway through the opening credits, we get a complete vibe change where we just kind of show up in a small town in Kansas. And that's where we meet our family for the film. The son's name is Brad, I think. April is the daughter. I didn't even realize that the dad came on screen, so I missed his name. I'm pretty sure that the mother's name is Mom, and the cat's name is Chewy because he's got hair all over his body. Yeah, and the family keeps talking about several of the daughter's current or ex-boyfriends by name in the first 5 minutes, so it really makes remembering anybody's name pretty fucking difficult.
What happened to Richard?
All Richard cared about was hog farms.
So? My dad farmed hogs.
This just kind of reeks of one of those sitcom breakfasts where the mother makes all this food and then everybody just kind of sits down, and then one by one they all get up and they're like, huh, gotta run, and then they don't eat any of the food and the mother just feels very underappreciated.
Thank you for the lovely breakfast you prepared, Mother.
The fuck did I tell you? So then we meet our local rotund law enforcer named Harv, but I don't like him, so I'm going to call him RoboSlop. We also meet our local skinny law enforcer named Jeff, who honestly looks pretty familiar for some reason. This is already too many characters, so let's meet another one. And this is Charlie. He's the local drunk who's convinced that Martians are talking to him through a filling in his tooth. And if that's the case, man, hey, ask him for the winning lotto numbers for tonight.
Do you hear that?
Meanwhile, the Bubblegum Brothers get word that the Krites are headed to planet Earth, and that's where I live. But the Bubblegum Brothers can't just roll up looking like Big League Chew. They got a shapeshift, man. So one of the brothers becomes a famous 80s rock star named Johnny Steele that he sees in their database of human beings. And the song, Power of the Night, that Johnny Steele is singing in the movie is actually pretty catchy. And of course, I would play you some of the song, but I don't want YouTube to chop off any of my fingers in a copyright dispute. So do me a favor and just think about what the song might sound like. Envision it in your mind, and then realize that you're probably completely fucking wrong and you smell like shit. And the other brother, he just decides to do absolutely nothing and just stays all green and lumpy. And then off to Kansas they go. And to be fair, I've actually spent quite a bit of time in Kansas, and I would say between the two of them, they kind of blend into the general population pretty well. So yeah, Charlie's all drunk, and breaks Brad's slingshot while Brad's just hanging out in the yard blowing shit up.
Charlie, you broke my slingshot.
I can fix this.
Then April introduces her dad to her new boyfriend, Steve, the dork from New York. Blah, blah, blah. Brad shoots his sister with a slingshot and gets in trouble. Blah, blah, blah. Where are the fucking critters? So yeah, that night, the dork from New York, he gets invited over for dinner with the family and...
Well, we should get going.
Come on, you did this for breakfast. Now you're going to do it for dinner, too? Meanwhile, Brad was banished to his room for dinner, and so he's just up there building pipe bombs. Yeah, he seems like a very normal and well-adjusted young man. Yeah, so then Steve and April decide to go to the barn to play 7 Minutes in Bethlehem. And yeah, back to the house, Brad and his father decide to have a nice heart-to-heart.
Brad, why are you always fighting with your sister?
How come you and Mom always take her side? I mean, I didn't even do nothing. Dad!
No movies. For 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that includes this YouTube channel as well, you little fuck.
If your dad catches me up here, I'm history.
Where are the fucking critters? Oh, shit, yeah, there they are. Cool. So anyways, the critters crash land and they're fucking hungry. So then Officer Ever Dream of This Man almost hits a thing that I can only hope is a critter. And yeah, he thinks it's a dog, so his first instinct is to just bludgeon it with his nightstick because he drove off the road and...
Hippooch.
Instead, he takes a little critter prick to the knee and gets pulled under a squad car for what I can only assume is a gruesome and terrible death. Anyways, back at the house, Mom is just shoving food chunks down the sink when all of a sudden we get introduced to critter vision. It's kind of like regular vision, but you just get really close to the ground and you just run around like a little hairy freak. Yeah, and I'm sure there's plenty of you guys watching that know exactly what I'm talking about already. And then Mom sees a glowing pair of red eyes through the kitchen window.
Well, maybe it was Chewy.
Yeah, maybe.
Meanwhile, the Bubblegum Brothers arrive on Earth. And for some unexplained reason, the other brother is still just green putty.
Transform.
Nothing likes me.
I mean, personally, I'm starting to see why. Anyways, the Bubblegum Brothers start tracking down the critters. Meanwhile, Dad tries calling the police for answers.
This phone is dead.
What?
Well, did you forget to pay the phone bill this month, Dad?
Mom?
Well, unfortunately, it seems that the critters just kind of cut the power to the house and they start trying to eat Dad. Damn. It's kind of fucking him up. Anyways, he escapes and we meet back up with the Bubblegum Brothers who discover the abandoned squad car. So yeah, the remaining green brother just gets the bright idea that, hey, I should shapeshift into the corpse of this dead officer.
I'm getting all sorts of calls about UFOs in the area.
And this is where I'm going to really pivot my irritation with the Bubblegum Brothers because as you will see, they consistently just make the worst decisions possible. Like, yeah, I'm on this foreign planet and I need to blend in, so how about I just shapeshift into a corpse? And back at the barn, it looks like nothing's changed. But I'm starting to get the feeling that the dork from New York might... Yeah. No, he might die. Yeah, so then he decides to have tummy time with one of the critters and then just runs into a wall. Brad hears his sister screaming in the barn and goes to rescue her, which, hey, that's going to happen about 800,000 more times during this movie. Not the poultry, man. Come on. Anyways, Brad rescues his sister, and they both escape the barn. Does anybody want to do a wellness check on the boyfriend? Maybe call an ambulance or check his vital signs or something? No? Okay. Speaking of cosmic space zombies, the Bubblegum Brothers decide to go to church.
We're here for the Christ.
Buddy, look around. Do you mean Christ? So then the inconsistent Bubblegum Brother decides to shapeshift into the priest. Because this movie needs the audience to know that the Bubblegum Brothers can shapeshift into anybody they want at any time. So yeah, they just start blowing up the church for literally no reason. And then they just leave. Useless. And hey, back at the house with the whole dead teenager in the barn thing, in case you were worried about it, don't worry. They're not worried about it. So yeah, they venture out to an escape vehicle just to find that the upholstery's been chewed to bits. Definitely little hairy freak activities. So April suggests her boyfriend Steve's keys. That might work. Unfortunately, his car is full of fucking critters, so they're forced to go back to the house. Well, I guess the dad's name was Jay. Anyways, Brad gets back into the house, blah, blah, blah. The family's cornered by critters, blah, blah, blah. They get back into the house. Okay, I mean, that part was pretty cool. Okay, hey, so listen, I got a joke for you, okay? Two bubblegum brothers walk into a bowling alley. No, that doesn't count. You didn't even rent bowling shoes, man. So, of course, the bubblegum brothers just start fucking up the bar looking for the Krites. And it seems to me that the only thing that the second bubblegum brother is good at is just like writhing around and then shape-shifting into the absolute ugliest motherfuckers in this movie.
Keep your shirt on, asshole.
So they start shooting shit and being absolutely useless as usual. Across town, Dad isn't doing too hot and Mom's not taking it too well.
Why don't you go check the windows?
I already did.
We'll check them again!
Okay, yeah, no, let me stop what the fuck I'm doing to check on your fucking windows. And wouldn't you know, the critters are in the house. So then, in an attempt to stop them, Brad just shoots a hole in their ceiling and lights their staircase on fire. Sick plan, man. Yeah, man, I've had some hot critters falling in my toilet too, if you know what I'm saying. You have a nice Friday night with the old lady down at Mariachi's on Parkway, that'll do it to you, man. Anyways, the family's now holed up in Brad's bedroom trying to devise a plan.
Dad, you can't even walk.
All right, so I've come to terms with the fact that you're never going to check on the boyfriend out in the barn, but about 5 minutes ago, your whole staircase was on fire, and now nobody seems too concerned, and April's just hugging a pillow like she's at a fucking slumber party. You guys are freaks. So yeah, Brad volunteers to go get help when all of a sudden, Jabba the Krite. So then he escapes back to the barn and he hides behind some product placement before witnessing the critters getting larger.
Oh my gosh, they're growing.
Please don't tell me that this kid just found the critter's glory hole. Anyways, Brad flags down the Bubblegum Brothers for some help.
Dad's all torn up and Mom's got like a harpoon sting in her neck and they're getting bigger.
Brother, I know. I've been watching this movie. So yeah, Brad leads the Bubblegum Brothers back to his house where they immediately just start shit fucking the place. So yeah, then Robo Slop shows up and one of the Bubblegum Brothers literally just throws him out a window for no fucking reason.
Are you okay?
I swallowed my chewing tobacco.
So yeah, the big fat fuck critter, he tries to eat Brad, but then jumps out the window to kidnap April.
Who's April?
It just grabbed her.
I have completely lost count and care of how many critters are left. So yeah, then Brad goes after his sister, and the Bubblegum Brothers are forced to hitch a ride with Robo Slop, so I guess they're cool now.
Come on.
Where we going?
Oh, and we run into Charlie, and I don't care. Anyways, they find the Krite ship, and Brad goes in to rescue her again, because that seems to be all he does the entire movie is just rescue his sister over and 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 over again. Fuck! Yeah, April, shut the fuck up. The critter's right there. Anyways, they get off the ship, and the critters pull the most random prick move ever. There was only 3 years left on that mortgage, man. Yeah, but then Brad, he kind of gets the last laugh because he left a pipe bomb on their ship, and then it blows up and kills all of them. Probably would have been cool if that exploded before they blew up your house, you little prick. And then wouldn't you know it, the Bubblegum Brothers just kind of fuck off.
Just wanted, to say thanks.
Brother, for what? These guys suck. They're fucking useless. They've done absolutely zero positive things this entire movie. And you want to thank them?
call me.
One of the Bubblegum brothers gives Brad his space pager, and he's like, yeah, if you ever need a church or a bowling alley or maybe your house fucked up, just give us a call. Yeah, and then the next day, RoboSlop literally just brings them right back to where they just were. Yep, still destroyed. But wouldn't you know, Brad's space pager goes off, and in some unexplained random burst of technology, it just rebuilds their house for no reason. I'm really getting pissed off. So then finally, the film ends with some more critter vision, and you get to see some critters' eggs that got laid in the chicken coop. And yeah, that's Critters, a perfectly campy flick full of hairy balls, redundant set pieces, and a dead teenager in a barn that nobody seems to give a fuck about except for me, and I love it. Yeah, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. I actually got to go back to the master bathroom and drop off some more hairy critters. So, it's been nice, and I'll see you around, okay?